Hi, I'm Keith from Atlas Genius, and you're watching The Permanent Rain Press.
So your guys' first single, Trojans, was released back in 2011. It was extremely well received. What about the song do you feel that people enjoyed or connected with the most?
Well, it's difficult for us to say because we wrote the song, we don't hear it the way that other people hear it, but I think that if there is something that I think about that maybe helped that song was that it was a really, in the end it was exactly the way we wanted the song. It expressed exactly what I wanted to get out, really. Lyrically and musically, I think it fits together in the right way. And I think that those times when you can get a song where it expresses exactly what you want in an honest way, then I think that's when things seem to connect with other people. So that's my thoughts on it.
Definitely. And the debut album, When It Was Now, was released this past February.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song off of the release?
It changes from month to month because the further you get away from completing an album, you forget what the trials and tribulations were during the process, and some songs that might have been a struggle to finish, now I can look back and I listen to them with fondness. So, I mean, at the moment, I always enjoy listening to Centered on You, but Through the Glass is another favourite of mine.
What was the writing process like for the album?
We had 4 or 5 of the songs on the album finished, well, or close to being finished when we signed with Warner Brothers last year, and then so half of them were done beforehand, and then half of them after. So once like when we started to talk to labels and we signed, there was also a lot of travelling going on. We went back and forth to America a couple of times, so it wasn't as what's the word? We had a real flow for a while, but then it was kind of. Then it became a situation where wherever we could get time, we would work on the album. So it was, and then the finishing of the album, we ended up doing hotel rooms in America. So that was a little random, but it worked.
Yeah, so I guess you can write it anywhere and stuff. It's sort of a mix of everything.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't written all in the one environment or the one headspace. It was kind of there's some different phases of the album.
And you guys performed on David Letterman and at South by Southwest earlier this year, and of course this summer you'll be at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine that you would be playing in front of such large crowds?
I think as a musician growing up, you always hope that maybe that would happen one day, but it's always a dream, but you're never sure how it's going to play out. So I'm certainly happy and surprised that it happened this way.
And you guys are from South Australia.
Yeah.
So for anyone who hasn't been to the state before or the country of Australia, such as myself, what are the top things to do?
If I was going to Australia, I would go straight to Queensland, and there's a part of Queensland, it's called Airlie Beach. And from Airlie Beach you can go out to the Whitsundays, which is a bunch of islands that it's the water, you could not get a more beautiful blue. The sand is pure white on some of the beaches. So that there is kind of, when I think of Australia and its perfection, that's what I think of. But you've got to go to Ayers Rock as well. Are you familiar with Ayers Rock? Right in the centre of the country, there's this huge, I think it's the biggest rock, I don't know, either in Australia or in the world, it's one solid piece of rock. And it's like a small mountain, so you can climb up that. It's a famous rock. So it's worth seeing, at least once in your life.
And so you are in the band with your brother. So, playing shows together, being on the road, would you say that you have a relatively good relationship?
I'd say relatively, yes. We have our moments, but generally it's good.
Who or what is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal. Yeah, you have to elaborate and help me with this.
It's like something that you think embodies the same qualities as you, like you were them in a past life type of thing.
Good question. Spirit animal. I think my brother would be a Labrador. I would be. What would I be? spirit animal. I'd like to, you know what, I'm a big fan of horses. Maybe a horse. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Any reasons why?
They're just huge, majestic animals. They're so graceful. And actually, just this last Christmas gone by, we spent some time with. We spent some time. Well, I spent some time on a farm, and I'd never been up close to horses before, and they were just fantastic. So horses are good. They're very placid, impressive animals. It's more not even so much I think I would have been a horse in a past life. It's that I would like to be a horse.
In your next life.
Yeah.
And to close things off with our signature question, if you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Rum and raisin, I think. It's got a healthy aspect with the raisins, but then you've got the rum, which is kind of makes it a little bit more interesting and kind of balances out. Yeah, rum and raisin.
I don't know if you have it. I haven't heard of that one.
It's big in Australia. I honestly haven't seen it over here either. But maybe it's an Australian thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with us. Atlas Genius's new album, When It Was Now, is now available. So make sure you go pick up a copy of that. And they are also currently on tour, so make sure you check out their website and their social media links, which we will leave below to see if they're coming to a city near you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Sweet.